Hello and welcome. Welcome to Emma and Rocklin Cave. Now if you watch the first video you'll see that I'm using a photograph in the background. What I'm doing, I'm using a 2D photograph with a 3D character and I'm kind of moving it around the screen. Of course Red Band Alley is going to be different, so it's going to be interactive with a mouse and a joystick, just in case you're wondering. But for now I want to give you a kind of a sneaky peek at all the things in Rocklin Cave. So this is like a hut that's in the middle of absolutely more or less nowhere. So as I said, it's part of Emma's dream world. So this is Emma's dream world. So she goes through the cave and she meets the hut. She doesn't meet the hut, she sees the hut. So the idea is to play the animation in the timeline. I will explain the screen to you. As I said, it's a 2D image. What you have to do in order to get it all working is find any photograph that you like, whatever you want. I will show you how to do it so you understand how to do it. But I'll just talk through it briefly. Now you take, as I said, take a photograph, look at what's in the photograph and look at all the things that you're going to interact with. Let's say the door, the window, this window, the plant, the bush and so forth. So every single thing, if you look at the whole entire thing, as you can see, Emma is actually inside the actual photograph, like this. From this point of view, you can't see that, but it don't matter if you can see it or not. She's actually off the screen, that's where she is. So you don't get to see none of this. All you get to see is this part. So you're thinking, that's kind of cheating. Yeah, it is kind of cheating. Like the bushes, you might think it's the same bush if you look through the camera. Now, you don't know that that's basically a whole pile of photographs in front of each other. Basically what I'm actually doing, I've cut and pasted that bush, put it there. I copied and pasted that one, put it there. Copy and paste that one, put it there. That's all you do. You copy and paste it, copy and paste it, copy and paste it. The version of Blender I'm using to do this is version 364. Now, there's not particularly any reason why I'm using this version, other than when it comes to, I'll click on this and I'll show you. If I go edit, you see the little points on here? In version 4, if you go here, look, you can say add a single vertex. This here is not available in version 4. So it's in version 364, but it's not available in number 4. So I'm using that for this particular part of my kind of 2D kind of storytelling. Now it's 2D and I can tell you it's 3D. Honestly, truly, it's not. It's all about 2D animation. That's what it's all about. So even though I am using 3D and I'm using a 3D character, now I want to play my animation. It's only a rough animation, just to let you know that. So I'll show you it. The character walks up there. So before she goes off walking anywhere, let me just click back on my character. I need to go back into, let's go back into object mode. Now here's my timeline. My timeline is set on 451 frames. I think that's a lot of frames, really, honestly. But don't forget, that's just the movement. I haven't added the trees yet. I haven't added nothing else. I haven't added the sunshine moving. Nothing like that yet. But just all I've done basically was took the photograph, cut out the bushes, placed them in front of each other, so they look kind of good. So when you do a render of it, it'll look half nice. So as I said, I can go here and I can play. She'll hide behind the door. So she comes in, she hides behind the first bush, comes back out, walks forward, goes behind the second bush, comes back out, walks up to the door and goes inside the building. Now of course at the moment she's hiding, she's not hiding nowhere. I'm going to reveal the secret. She's hiding nowhere. I've just copied and pasted the door and I moved the door in front of the character. So it looks like she's gone behind the door and she hasn't gone nowhere. All she's done was she's gone behind this door, which is, it is the same door, except it's different. Now of course the idea would be to render that out and to see what I end up getting. Now of course, if you want to watch me render it, you can watch me render it. So as I said, it's entirely up to you. I am going to do the render separate. So to render anything out, I've already set up my game scene. As the game scene itself is very easy and very simple to set it up. You just go here and you add a plane. If you don't have this turned on, if you don't have it turned on, I want to say go into Edit, go to Preferences. I'll bring it in the screen so you can see it. Bring it in the screen here. Type in here. I'll just bring up the keyboard. Type in plane. You see it here, look. Plane, images to planes. Tick the box. Go here and say Preferences. When you do that, you will have this option inside the menu. And now all you do, basically, if you click on that now, it's going to ask you where the photograph is. Click the photograph that you want in the background, and then basically just move it to the location where you want it. And then you're almost ready to render. Almost perfect, basically. So it's pretty easy, pretty simple. As I said, I'm trying to tell the story as like a 2D game as well as a 3D game. So just in case you don't want to play a certain type of game. So let's look for the camera. So this is whatever's inside this box here is exactly what you're going to see. Say, well, how come you cut off the top half of the building? I cut it off because I don't particularly want to see it. Because the sunshine in this photograph is in one place. I can change the time of day. I can do that anyway. I don't need to edit that part. Later on, when you see the other shot, which is far away, you'll see the whole entire picture. You'll see everything, the whole lot. But anyway, I'll explain as I'm going on. Come over here. We want to render it. Go over here. Come down the menu. Just go to printer. I'm going to leave it on the size that it's on. This is my laptop standard default. It's 1920 by 1080. That's what it is. It's 24 frames a second. I don't need any more than that because I'm going to burn out my graphic card otherwise. So you'll see people whack that rod up to like 60, something like that. It's way too much. If you want to destroy your computer, a graphic card, sound card, then of course increase it. Honestly, truly, don't increase this. Leave it on 24. And the revolutions, some people put that right up to the 4K texture. That's incredibly stressful for your computer. And some people, whether they don't know any better, they move it right up to 8K. I think if you do that, I guarantee you're going to burn your computer out in about 2 weeks. So just don't do that. Just leave it on standard. Whatever the standard default is when you open Blender, leave it. Change this 24 frames a second. Come down here. Now I want to change this. I want this one. So yeah. And all I've got to do is go over here and hit render. There's no sound on it at the moment. I'm going to scale it down for you because it's actually off the screen. Well, it's actually bigger than the screen. So I'll scale it down. So this is how it ever looks at the moment. So give me a couple of seconds. Because I'm recording the screen, it takes me a few seconds to click on it. So I've got to wait for the mouse to appear and then I can click on it and I can just drag it. Give it a couple of seconds. As I said, when I'm kind of doing it like this, I don't know any other way around it. Honestly, I really don't. So let me just click back on it. I'm going to bring it into the screen so you can see what it's doing. So as I do, ignore the photo. We're not that close. It's got some zoomed right into it. Just zoom out, and then you can actually see the size of the photograph. So this is the size how it's going to look. So this is how the game will look inside the game mode, inside the 2D version. As I said, there was 290 in the last video. There's 451 photos in here. Now, of course, if you watch the photo, it's going to come out. It'll come out not too bad. But as you notice with the photograph, I haven't moved her arms, her legs, nothing. There's nothing moving. I got the hiccups, so I really apologise for it. But as I said, I'm doing my videos live, so whatever happens, happens. So, as I said, all I can do is apologise for it. I got the snivels. I've had it for about a year. I think about a year and a half, honestly, to tell you the truth. Can't get rid of it. I've had all sorts of medication. Anyway, can't get rid of it after whatever week. It might be here for a long time yet, but who knows. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of spoiled my videos, but I'm thinking, well, I've still got to do the videos nevertheless. So I'm thinking, if you want to, as I said, if you're interested in kind of learning the kind of things that I'm kind of doing, as I said, the things that I do, I'm only new myself, so I'm still learning myself. Because someone say, oh, well, you can use, instead of doing what I'm doing, I can use masks. I'm thinking, I'm not going to the ball, I'm not going to a Halloween party, I don't want to use a mask, I really don't. I want to use as less geometry as possible, and I want to make it look as nice as possible. So I'm thinking, kind of great. So when my character's in like the PC world, not PC world, in like the PC game, I want to be able to click the window, and I want the character to walk to the window. I want to be able to click the bush, and I want a character to walk to the bush. I don't want it to walk to the actual bush. I want it to walk wherever I click. I want my character to walk to that location. That's how easy I want my game character. As I said, I don't want the computer to do much, but I need it. I need to be able to basically render a screenshot and have the character walk from point A to point B with a click of a button. I mean, is it hard? It's not really hard when you know how. But yeah, at the moment, I would say it's a little bit hard for me to kind of learn that part. So when I kind of look through the process, I'm going to take out all the things that are not truly necessary, and then I'll be able to build the game a whole lot easier in the future. You can make a game a whole lot easier in the future, and all you need basically is a camera, a mouse, and some way to click. That's it, and that's about all there is to the video game. That's about all there is to it. As I said, forget everything else that goes on in the background, all the preparation work. Now, the preparation work, well, I'm going to use that big fancy word. Anyway, preparation work, that means, let's say you look at a photograph, like I was saying to you earlier on, you've got to cut out the certain parts that you want. So anything that your character is going to interact with, like the bush. Now, if I don't cut this bush out, and I just left it as that bush, she would actually physically walk in front of the bush. I'm thinking, hey, I can't have that. I want to give the illusion that she's walking behind it, even though really, truly, she's not. Yeah, it's a big pack of lies. That's what it is. But it on the game screen itself, it looks absolutely great. So I think it's great. Of course, once you give her more animations, don't forget, I'm just kind of showing you how long it roughly takes to get a 451 clip out of here. I'm assuming it's going to take probably maybe about 20 minutes, thereabout. So if you don't want to watch it for 20 minutes, you don't really have to. And I don't really want to talk for 20 minutes. Not really, I don't. But as I said, because it's not I've got a problem with talking. It's just that I don't want to reveal too much of the game content to you. So as I said, you notice that I'm talking about a different type of part of the world. I'm talking about her world in her dream. This is her dream world. This is where she is. So when you see these videos, you're not actually in Red Bandali at the moment. Well, you might be in Red Bandali, but she's dreaming. So that's where she is. So as I said, because she's going on a lifelong quest and adventure, these are all the things that she's imagining that are real, that are out there, and the kind of places that she might really truly want to go. But yeah, it all depends on the content, and it all depends on the feedback on the channel, believe it or not, depending on where the character ends up. Of course, I don't want someone on the channel to say, oh, how about she enters a haunted house? Yeah, she could enter the haunted house later when she gets bigger. But at the moment, this is the kiddie part where you're going to run around like a little girl, because later on I'm going to turn you into a little girl, and we're going to go to some pretty scary places. And yeah, and remember that you're only playing as a young girl. You've got no weapons, so you might think, well, nothing can happen to me then, because I can't get chased by a big, bad, hairy, scary creature, because I've got no way to kind of protect myself. I'm thinking, yep, that's the whole point. The whole point is for you to run. But yeah, so she, luckily for you, she's got a pretty good run ability, and she can outrun most things. But of course, again, depends on the age of the character and how fast she can run and where she can hide. Of course, at this age, because she's only tiny, which she is, she's no bigger almost than the window ledge, she can hide almost anywhere. She can hide in the bush. She can't hide beyond the grass. She's obviously too big. But the little mouse that's in the game, he can hide here. But anyway, the little mouse that's in the game world, he kind of helps you out a lot. He helps you out a lot. I got the mouse from the Windows 3D viewer on Windows 10, just let you know that. as I said, I want to say thanks to Microsoft for the mouse. When I first got it, I think it looked absolutely incredible, but he had no skeleton inside him. So I was thinking, where's your skeleton? Well, come on, if we can't share something like that and not put a skeleton in it. Anyway, so I put a skeleton in it. If you watch some of my videos on my channel, you'll see the mouse. He looked pretty great with her. We looked pretty great with Emma. I think, okay, I want to give her a mouse. So that's going to be her friend. And she's also got a little robin, a little bird. It's a robin, that's what it is. But again, it's from Microsoft. But unfortunately, the robin, I did make a skeleton for it, but it can't fly because it's got no wings. But and not only that, the model I've got, his wings themselves are actually by his side, so you can't animate the wings flying. You can't do it unless, of course, I actually make a better wings for him. But I think even though I try to do that, I can't really animate the robin flying because when you open the wings, you can see the other wings which are attached to his body. I think no, that honestly, truly doesn't work in the game. So I think I could probably model it like that and having it over in the distance, so you can't quite tell that it's kind of messed up. But I don't want to do that because the bird spends most time either where she is, because the idea of the little robin, I'm going to explain this to you. The idea of the robin, he can go off to places like on the rooftop, knock off pieces of paper, pick up certain things that are in certain locations that you can't get. But anyway, that's what it's for. So the mouse is on the floor, so the mouse can go places where you can't. Maybe there's a key down the hole, down the drain. The mouse can go down and pick it up for you and bring it back out. The robin can get the things that up really high because she does climb. She has the ability to climb, but there's only a certain height that she's allowed to go, and only if it's kind of safe. So if she's safe, she can probably go there. But as I said, because she's kind of a young kind of character in the game world, as I said, she's only age 1. Her name is Emma, and she's going on a lifelong quest. That's where she's going. So in her little brain, she's imagining all sorts of wonderful, fantastic things. So from magical creatures to big scary creatures. I think it depends on the imagination of the character. And as I said, it all depends on the feedback I get, depending on what kind of content I'm going to actually put in the game. Of course, if it's something that's kind of proper scary, it's going to go into like this. This game will come like in 3 different versions. It'll come like in a proper kids version like this. So there's nothing really too scary in it. Maybe a lot of fun, but mostly, just an adventure. In the teen version, it's going to be a little bit more scarier, and in the big adult version, I'm going to turn you into a little girl. Yeah, I'm going to show you some proper scary things. I think, well, I'm not scared of things like that. I think, wait till I show you, and I'll guarantee that even the big people, probably won't play the big version. You probably won't. So you probably will give you like this. But anyways, as I said, I'm looking at the content anyway. So the journey starts off from age 1. So we'll take you through the first journey and we'll see how it goes. We'll see if you like it. So as I said, I'm giving you a little girl to play because the idea is to turn you into a little girl at the end of it. But anyway, play the content. Even though you might think, oh no, I'm not playing that. I'm not going to play that kind of game. It's too kiddified. I think no. The kiddified one is kind of just warming you up, so to speak, for the next part. And then you go to the next part, and you might think, actually, now it's starting to look good. And I'm thinking, but wait till it starts getting pretty good. And when it gets really good, I guarantee, by the time you get to really, really good, you ain't going to play the game. You're really not. I think, but you should because, as I said, it gets better and better as time goes on. Because don't forget, every single time that I produce a video, a game content at the moment, I'm not doing the game content yet. I'm doing it, I'm building it, but I haven't released it yet. As I said, as I'm building it, I'm getting more and more experience on the graphics, on the bushes, on the houses, and I'm incorporating everything that I know into the videos so I can kind of teach you every single thing that you want to know how to do. Let's say a certain thing. Now I'm showing you my interpretation of what you can do. Of course, I'm trying to cut out all the hard work, like scripting languages, things like that. Of course, you need scripting language to make it kind of work, make it function. But yeah, you don't need too much of it though. You only need a little bit. So I'm thinking if I can use the most minimum amount of scripting language, as I said, the scripting language itself, all I want, the rendering part, yeah, that's all to do with basically the render part. You know, when you look back at the Microsoft tutorials about the Hello World program, if you look at the Hello World, it's basically a box like that, which you can turn it into a 3D window. Now, of course, as long as it can render a photograph like that, that's it. That's all the code I need. Now, that's all I need for the render part. Then all I've got to do is give it a very simple function and tell whatever the character is to move from point A to point B. That's it. So, and of course, you want the ability to save the game and maybe to pick up objects and interact with them, maybe, probably. So, yeah, there's a little tiny bit of code, but there's, yeah, by the time I finish, by the time I end up making my game, um, how my game works and how it will work is going to be pretty great, I think, I truly think. And it's going to have the most minimum amount of code possible. It really will. So I'm thinking, okay, I want to get rid of absolutely as much as possibly can. As I said, there's 451 frames. We're on 268, 269 now. So if you're still watching the video, I really truly appreciate it. As I said, the Emma BQ models, they're all part of Red Bandali. These are Emma Dream models. That's what they are. So I will name them as they are. So as I said, you're actually inside Emma Dream. That's where you are. The whole game starts off in a place called Red Bandali. It's a 3D world. That's exactly where you are. When you go to bed at bedtime, obviously most games you go to sleep. You're asleep for like maybe 5-10 minutes. Apparently a whole day passes, and then you wake up the next morning, and then you go off on your journey. I think yeah, great. But how about if my character goes to bed? How about I can interact with her brain? So this, what we're doing, we're actually inside Emma's brain at the moment. So we're looking at what she's dreaming about. So yeah, it sounds kind of weird, I suppose, in a kind of way. It's just a different way of looking at some content. I'm thinking I don't like when I play game myself, and let's say like especially the point and click adventure games. Let's say you say, oh, he's hungry. I think okay, that's great. She can get hungry. We can give her food. You're thinking, okay, when she goes like in most games, you go to bed. Say, okay, she's tired. You go to bed. You wake. Obviously, the idea of going to bed is so you can save the game level. That's in most cases. Then you wake up in the morning and you continue your journey. Some games you don't go to bed. In some games you don't. But I think in this game, yeah, you are going to go to bed. But really, you're not going to bed because even though I'm telling you, you're walking around inside of your own dream. Yeah, there's a lot more going on in here than just a dream. So you're playing in two different worlds, more or less at the same time. You're playing in the real Red Alley, and then when you're kind of supposedly asleep, really you're not because you're actually still interacting with the world, but it's a different type of world. I think now there's all sorts of creatures, animals, creatures, mythical creatures. As I said, later on there'll be scary creatures, but not at the moment. As I'm trying to keep it all kind of friendly. So I want to show you some really proper nice locations. I found a website. It's called um, Deep AI. That's what it's called. It's a website, and it's kind of great and it's super fast for making photographs. The website tells you the photographs are not copyrighted, like this one. This is actually from the website. So I'm thinking, okay, I told the website I want basically the sea, a hut, and some bushes, and this is what I got. I think I didn't even mention the slabs, but I'm thinking, yeah, he's done a pretty great job. Now, of course, considering that was drawn by an AI system, I mean, yeah, I can do a lot with that. I really can. So I'm thinking, can I turn it into a 3D object and a 3D world? I've already turned this into an actual 3D world. So what I've done, I've basically turned the bushes into 3D bushes. In here, as I said, they're not 3D bushes, they're 2D surfaces. Later on, I will be animating the bushes so they're moving, like the straw on the house. At the moment, it doesn't move. I'm just showing you in this part how long it takes to do the video. So as I said, in the next, when you actually see the clip, ignore that's because it's just trying to catch up. So as I said, in the actual clip for this, the grass moves, the bushes move, the grass on top of here, yeah, it moves slightly, not much, because that's a thatched roof. That's what that is. So we will move it slightly, just so it's got a bit of movement on it. But all the grass has to move. That's got to move, and maybe the door kind of swings slightly backwards and forwards because it's a little bit on the windy side, maybe. But as I said, and the most important part of all, the character has to move her head, her arms, her legs, and so forth. So as I said, if you watch the clip to it, you're going to see me actually animating her. Now, of course, because it's in a dream state, I don't have to animate it too perfectly. But of course, I still want it to look kind of fantastic or kind of good temporarily until I actually get it properly into the game world. And then when I actually put it into the game world itself, everything is going to move like it's supposed to. So everything will move, the grass will move, the hair will move, the whole body will move. Just so you understand that. So as I said, let me just kind of, I was going to show you how the actual background part, but you can't, when I'm kind of rendering the screen, I'll say it's on 368. As I'm rendering it, it takes up quite a bit of computer power, and I can't interact with the Blender part while it's doing that. Of course, you can if you've got a really great machine. As I said, I've only got a little small laptop, which is ain't too great, but it's good enough for this. It's good enough for this type of thing. As I said, just continue watching the video, and as I said, she'll go up here, she'll hide behind the door, and then basically that's the end of the video. So, as I said, if you're interested in the BQ models, they're all free of charge. There's no copyright, no copy restrictions on any of the content that I'm showing you, that I'm giving you. So, whatever it is that belongs to Emma, you can have the whole entire lot. As I said, it's good, honest, genuine content. That's what it is. Apart from the game world, of course. The game world's fake, so I'm not going to tell you it's good, honest, and genuine because it's not. Because it's game content, so it's fake. It's not real. Just to let you know that. Just in case you're kind of young and you're thinking, oh, did you really kind of jump from I don't know that bush down to the floor? But she's never really done that. But in the game world, you probably will do that later on. But anyway, I'm just saying for instance. So as I said, I'm going to watch what I say because certain things I can say, certain things I can't say, and I've got to keep the character herself out of danger as much as possible. Of course, it's a game world. Of course, things are going to happen in the game world. But yeah, it all depends on where you go and how you go about doing it. So at the moment, all of the surfaces at the moment, apart from like the first video, which is climbing the ladder, yeah, that comes later on. But of course, whatever's inside her dream, whatever she's dreaming about, that's exactly what's inside the dream. And the idea of the ladder in the cave, I can tell you, it wasn't actually my idea. It actually came from an email. I will show the email soon. As I said, I don't have permission to kind of talk about the person who emailed me yet. But I'm thinking, yeah, I need to obviously click on the person themselves, ask them, do they want me to share the email part? If they do, great. And if they don't, then of course they don't. As I said, now she goes here, look, now she's not going to hide behind the door. Watch, she'll go here and she'll stop. That's exactly what she'll do. Now here at this point she'll be hiding behind the door. But at the moment, which I've only just realised on the video, is I've got the door actually hid away. So the door now should be like that. It should be hid behind the door. Now the door should have already been there from the absolute first beginning. But yeah, as you can see, I've just clicked on the door, and the door was there. I didn't realise the door was hiding. So yeah, the door should have been there in the first place. So when she goes here, she goes behind the door, and then she hides. But yeah. Anyway, I've turned it on, so you can't physically see the character. So the character basically has gone back in the house. That's where she's gone. And who knows what happens inside the house. So yeah, you have to come back and watch a different part to see what's inside the hut. Even though there's nothing actually really inside the hut because it's a flat surface. But of course, you don't know that. So as far as you're concerned, it's a 3D building with cookers and beds and chairs and TVs and hi-fis and game consoles. But yeah, no, there's nothing in there. So I'm gonna show you anyway at the end of it. So as I said, just keep watching. Okay, we're on 414, 444. As I said, there's 451 frames in it, just to let you know that. As I said, if you're still watching my video, as I said, I really truly appreciate it. As I said, I'm trying to give you some really kind of true game content. That's what I'm trying to give you at some point. But stay with me. As I said, even if you don't get nothing, you're going to learn a lot. You really will. So as I said, it's always nice to have a little bit of knowledge. Okay, so the render has finished. So Emma is hiding behind the door. Behind this door, not this door. So she's not actually in the building. As I said, if you go behind the building, there's nothing inside the building. So if I turn it right round, this is the back of the building. I think in here. Now, of course, if I wanted to, I could have her walk down here and go out the pathway. Yeah, that's a different type of story for a different type of room. At the moment, she's going this way. So, as I said, I really hope that you like the content, and I hope you like the way I'm showing you. So, as I said, let's bring Emma back. Now, you see the door frame, look? You see how she goes behind the door frame? That's what's supposed to have happened, but yeah, I forgot to turn the door frame on. So, yeah, it just happened. So, when you're doing your game content, don't forget to turn on the certain objects, otherwise it's not going to look too great. Anyway, as you say, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, don't subscribe. Thank you very much for watching my content. I very much appreciate it. Stay safe, keep it friendly, keep it in text. See you soon.